Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 75. Starting a wee bit early. We'll see if the audio is working, and I'll get back with you in a minute. I thought I had removed that image. So, looks like we got no one watching. So I've got some new sounds. World control. Part of world control. Agent Skinner.
This is the voice of world control. I bring you peace. Voice of world control. I bring you peace. This is the voice of world control. I bring you peace. If you obey me, you will survive. If you obey me, you will survive. This is the voice of world control.
So, yes. So if you obey me, everybody will be fine. So that was from that famous 1960s movie or 70s movie, Colossus, where they get a supercomputer to take control of the nuclear weapons of America, and the Russians do the same, and then they link up the two computers and decide that they'll destroy mankind, which was the best option, and just keep a few alive to maintain the computers. It's a fairly good movie if you haven't seen it. So yeah, and I got this one here. Good to be back. Sing along. Good to be back. Another exciting night of UFO stuff. So yeah, not too sure what's happened to Roberts. Sleeping in again. He's got mates that come around and keep him up late drinking. So yeah, there's not much I can do about that. And Gerard's probably working. So these people may come along, and I can drop them on the live later. So we'll see what happens. And John, I'm not sure what's happened. They're doing. He dropped off last time, if you remember, and I asked him what happened, and apparently his internet got cut because they're putting in new gas pipelines. So he's quite annoyed about that because he couldn't join our stream, could he? So yeah, he wanted to listen to the David Adair stuff, which we covered last time, and there was a couple of things I missed off that one. So David Adair, I'll just bring up the image to remind everybody what it's about. Hello, anyone out there? So we've got one. So let's see. This guy claiming to be another Bob Lazar. And there's another thing I forgot to mention was if this rocket was going that fast, faster than a bullet, his rocket would heat up pretty quick. The nose cone especially, because of the wind friction, and he would have to have like space shuttle tiles, like ceramic, to stop it melting pretty much, or even maybe the whole outer case. So that G-force of 110 Gs also is just the vertical direction. As soon as it tries to angle and turn and to land at Area 51, it probably would have snapped in half because you got the torque on the weakest side of it, which is on the side of the rocket. And you're trying to change the direction. Also, as soon as you open the containment field and let out all the heat energy, it's gone, which means you're going to have to close it shut again and regenerate a fusion field and fusion components, then eject it again. So it would have to be like a pulse jet. So it won't be continuous. There's no way you can do that unless you got two containment fields inside. And yeah, so the whole story doesn't add up science-wise. Hey, we got someone on who's just arrives the truth. So late. It's not late where I am. It's only 10 p.m. here. Yeah, you can't sort of get the time zones right for everybody, unfortunately. But you can always watch it offline if you like to do that. Although they can go on a bit long, especially if you get some guests, side chatters on. And we've got about 3 at the moment. And all of them are not too sure where they're all gone, but they've all got various difficulties. So yeah, normally the time zones fit with UK morning, but not so well with USA, of course. But it is Friday night here in New Zealand, so we're always ahead of the rest of the world. We're the first one to see New Year's in and all that sort of stuff. Well, almost the first. I think there's an island. Which one was it that sees it first? was it Samoa or something like that? So yeah, it's good. At least you joined. So I was just recapping some bits I missed on the last live stream. I got interrupted, so my flow wasn't so good on that debunk. But we've still got more to cover, of course. So yeah, and also what exhaust comes out of the rocket was another one. I tried to figure that one out, but it was a bit complex because we're talking about fusion, and the particles you get left at the end generally carbon. It could be any of the items 26 on the periodic table downwards. So it's more likely to be oxygen as a byproduct, and let's see, iron maybe. So that means it would have some stuff coming out the rear, which you don't see on UFOs. You don't see like some type of exhaust coming out of a UFO engine. So his story has a lot of holes in it, saying that this is from a mothership. So yeah, I just don't know about that one. It's got too many holes to be believable story. Also, but we've had these other stories of molten metal being dripped. Now, that would fit in with some sort of fusion reactor that's gone wrong, where the containment field's broken down and melted the outside of the ship. But we've sort of debunked some of those dripping molten rocks, although there's still a few out there we still haven't got enough information on to say either way. The Maury Island one we determined was highly likely a hoax, although again it was still left open with some strangeness there on that live that we did, which we couldn't explain, which could also again put it in the cover-up stage. So yeah, it's interesting stuff, UFO field. It's really hard to pin stuff down. Like Bob still could be legit, and he was fed wrong information. So there's always sort of like that scenario. But what time is it in New Zealand? Let's see. I'll bring it up for you. 10 p.m. That's when I was going to start, but I started early anyway. Because generally I get little glitches, technical problems, but I think it's working all right. You can hear me, obviously, and the sound effects are working. I was just going to see if any more people were going to come along, because 10 o'clock is normally the start time, you see. People get used to it. I normally have a little nana nap before I start the live, because sometimes it goes right to 3 a.m. in the morning for me. And that's when more people start coming on, because they start waking up early in one side of America there, 7 a.m. onwards. But yeah, it depends how much I got to cover and stuff. So yeah. So recap on that one. It's more possible that one's a hoax than anything. So I've got a few bits here. Where should I start? Was that one not loaded? All right. So this is a crazy story that I got sent on Facebook, which I thought would be a bit of a laugh. He looks like an alien too. Texas man admits kidnapping C9 people to anal probe them while disguised as an alien. He looks like an alien. Lazy. Well, he looks like something from what is it, Dracula? What's that one that was on TV, that sci-fi, where they had sort of like a virus that made people turn into these creatures? Can't remember what it was called now. They took over New York. So he kind of looks like that creature they had on there, the master Dracula dude. Okay, mate, it's good for you to like it and join. Yeah, I'll get into the flow of things. Sure enough, you can watch it offline. Good night, and We'll just read what it says here anyway. So it had to be El Paso, Texas, didn't it? So a man who was arrested by FBI yesterday has confessed to kidnapping and sexually assaulting several dozen people while using costumes, drugs, and special effects to have his victims believe they had been abducted by aliens. So I suppose that could be one explanation for so many alien abductions. Could it be similar to other cases? 73-year-old Arnold White was arrested for a joint investigation led by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, El Paso Sheriff's Office, and El Paso's Police Department. Originally interrogated about 4 crimes committed in the region in the 1990s, the retired trucker confessed. It's always truckers, isn't it? What was that? The Green River Killer, or serial killer. He was a trucker. And there was another one too, wasn't there? I can't remember his name now. Confessed a total of 79 kidnappings across California, Nevada, New Mexico, and Texas over 40 years. Wow. So that might explain some of the UFO cases then. Especially if you get drugged with one of those date rape drugs, you can't remember a thing, or your memory's all hazy. White confessed to using a mixture of hallucinatory drugs containing LSD and PCP to subdue his victims before approaching them and carrying them inside his truck. In order to confuse his victims even more, he had set up the inside of his truck to look like an operating room would wear alien costume. Damo. He would insert fingers and objects into their various body cavities. He had even created his own sex toys designed to look like alien tools. Man, oh man. He chose victims who were gullible. Well, that's probably quite a lot of Secure Team fans better watch out, and might fall for his traps. Several of his victims were actually UFO investigators. What if his name was Tyler? He found hanging out around Area 51 or Roswell. So what does Tyler think of that?
And I am dumbfounded as to what it could be.
I just can't resist
I don't know. It doesn't look like a glitch.
Doesn't look like a glitch. He's dumbfounded. So what was the rest of it there? Faces a total of 347 criminal charges, including several charges of kidnapping. He could face a term of more than 382 years. I don't think he's going to live more than 10 years by the looks of that picture of his. So now he's gone into the anal enlargement program called prison. Man, that's got to be one of the most crazy stories ever. So where are all my side chatters? They would love that story. They're such pikers. So close that one down. Right. Remember, I couldn't remember that documentary. Got a pop up here. Get that rid of. The documentary about Spock that I said you should get and watch it. It's this one here. I should have posted that link before too. It doesn't matter. I'll just copy and paste this one so you can go and have a read about it. Try and find it online, maybe. It might be free somewhere. So yeah, I recommend it. It's done by his son. Apparently is also a movie producer, or trying to be. What's that option there? Oh, well, that'll do. Yeah, so that's that one out the way. I knew I'd find out eventually. Alright, so this one's on the black UFOs, and then I got this other story from Finn. What's his name? Hardley. He's on Open Minds. Finn Handley, I mean. It doesn't go by that first name like that. He goes by Finn. But yeah, his story is very interesting. So yeah, I'll cover that one. And he's got a video that he's made. I'll play a clip of it. So I'll talk about this one here that was put out by John Austin, what, 6 months ago, was it? What was being towed towards some mysterious Area 51 military base. Now, people were saying it was a nuclear rocket or something like that, because it was a time with North Korea. So, yeah, some crazy newspaper article he wrote there. It's got a video of this going past. So, I'm not sure if I put it in a UFO case debunk or not. So I'll discuss it now on live. So basically what I did is I found eventually that it was a match to the Falcon rocket being transported, and the black thing is just a cover they put on it to protect it. Just before they did the SpaceX launch, the big one with the 2 extra payload on it and the car in it. And someone found the YouTube link here for it, so I'll just play that actually. See if it opens up. Try and put it in a new tab. Where is it? I'll just mute it. Most likely got it playing on the tab still. Hang on. What's it? Silly thing. Alright, so just make it a bit bigger. So this is the thing that's being transported, which is SpaceX. Nothing to do with UFOs or nuclear bombs. Look, thank God. But you can see the front of it is very similar to SpaceX. Now we see a lot of these videos come online where they're transporting funny things on back of trucks. People are saying it's aliens, UFOs that have been crashed. Often it's not, it's just like water tanks or movie props and museum pieces, and also there was something else too, radar dishes. We sort of covered that in one of those early streams, probably live 4. So yeah, it's quite big, isn't it? But they've designed it so it can be modular and transported by trucks. You can see that. So SpaceX wanted to make it as versatile as possible, and you can see here is the engines at the end here. So yeah, it's a pretty cool video. Who put that one out? Mackenzie Television. Hopefully it's not bloody copyrighted. Let's find out. So should be under fair use anyway. I'll post the link to it there if you want to watch it yourself later. But also, here's some things that it can match as well, I found. Further down, where was it? I need to go back one. So also, they have a place like a museum where they collect old rockets, like these ones here in the picture that I found. And you can see they look almost looks identical to the SpaceX stuff. Museum of Strategic Rocket, which is in Nevada. And I found this one here. Well, could ask them, but it's caisson drill foundation pipe similar to what they are using on Oak Island. So you may have seen them drilling downwards vertically on Oak Island series. Well, that's the caissons they use. So I originally thought it was that until I saw the front of the and the back end of the video. So they use it for foundation, or so they use it for building sea piers like that, and they build it out to sea. And also they can do it for oil rigs, or even underground systems. You know, build it in the desert there to make tunnels. And some of them even have these wing tips. Looks like a missile, but it's not. It's actually very sharp, and it just hammers it into the ground, and those fins stop it rotating, and that they use it for like foundation of high rises and piers and that sort of stuff. But yes, you can see how people can get the wrong idea when they see that on the back of trucks. So I thought I'd mention that one. And to do with Finn also does occasional debunks, and he did this one here, which I'll play. It's only 2 minutes. You may remember this 1952 UFO wave photo. Well, apparently it's not really UFOs. So I'll let him explain it on his video. I've got blips. So we'll start there, I guess.
Video about this photo that's still doing the rounds. A couple of years ago, I saw a thread on a UFO forum. I think it was the Open Minds forum. It was a great thread that debunked various photos, and I've seen this debunked on other forums as well. If you're a seasoned photographer, or you know your stuff, you will be able to tell what's going on here with a few pointers. The problem is that most of the times when this photo is used kind of peddled as a genuine UFO photo, they crop it so you only see this much of it. But in fact, this is the full photo, I believe. And what's actually going on is that there are some lamps down here, some kind of street lamps or whatever you want to call them, and they are reflecting into the camera lens. They're being flipped horizontally and vertically, kind of mirrored, and then they've come out in the film as this effect. It's basically what's known as lens flare. It normally doesn't look like this though, so it has convinced quite a few people that these are real UFOs, because they do kind of look spherical and metallic. And there are genuine UFO videos out there and photos, but this is not one of them.
So yeah, so down here at the bottom of the photograph, if you can see, but there's a lot of lights, bright lights, 1,000 watts or more probably, which is, you can see on the angle here, because you invert it in the camera lens and it bounces back in the opposite direction, which means there's the 2 dots here, so it's more likely to be these 2 here probably, these ones here, and you got other ones here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I think. Here is it, and you got these ones here, 1, 2. So invert it. So those 2 there. Those 2 are those 2. Those 2. It can be a bit hard to work it out without a video, because this is a photograph. So if you saw it on a video and you're rotating the camera around, you'd see these lights were actually lens flare more obviously than you would with a photograph. But we're seeing quite a lot of these photos of fake UFOs like this throughout the 2 years I've been doing my channel. So yeah, that's a good one that he's put out there. He's got other ones with similar lens flare artifacts, which I think I've shown before. I will put a link to his channel. I think he's got another channel where he puts stuff up as well. I think he's got 2 channels. Maybe he hasn't got it on this one. Yeah, has he? I think he must have made a separate channel up. Anyway, I think it must be another one. He's got another channel where he just put debunks on it. There's about 10 videos. I think I covered it before anyway. But I found hold of his reenactment video for his UFO sighting, which was very interesting. So we'll get onto that in a minute. So this one here, Richard Dolan come out today. It's a re-air from August, pretty much, from a channel called Hagmann Report, or Hagmann's Report. And he's talking about his UFO sighting, which is quite interesting. And he sounds like he might be a military man, so I'll just play it and hopefully I won't get any trouble with it. I won't make it big. Does caps work?
Yeah, I mean, this thing was probably only 30 to 50 feet above my head. I had a witness. It was my brother-in-law sitting next to me in my car. We were both looking out the windshield, so it was almost directly over us. It was kind of in front of us, and we were looking straight out the windshield of my car on a very windy day, very cold and windy day in Cleveland, Ohio, Brook Park, Ohio to be specific. That's where I grew up. And this craft, which we thought was one of those personnel carrying helicopters, I can't remember the name, the Chinook helicopters. We thought it was one of those at first because it was large and you know, very bright lights, triangular shaped lights. I don't know, Richard, if maybe you've heard this description before, but it had triangles for lights. And this craft just slowly hovered from where it was above the shopping center. It was nighttime, by the way. The craft hovers slowly from sitting above the shopping center, comes almost directly above my car, but in front of my car, so I can see out my windshield, and begins to descend right over my car. And my brother-in-law and I are just looking at this thing with our jaws dropped. He was also familiar with the UFO topic. In fact, he and I used to talk about what kind of propulsionary systems might these vehicles be using and so forth. So here we are, having talked about this for months and months. We're sitting there witnessing one of these things descend over the car. And it was somewhat triangular in shape. It wasn't the classic, you know, TR3b triangle shape. It was somewhat triangular in shape. It was definitely not an airplane, definitely not a helicopter, no propulsionary system to speak of, no propellers. It wasn't like a Harrier jet. It wasn't diffusing a bunch of air. There wasn't, in fact, there wasn't any air at all. There wasn't any sound at all. Typical description, I think, of these kinds of craft. And it was close enough to where we could see that it had angular body armor on it. And it was a grayish green angular body armor. What comes to mind, and this is all, the reference I often make when telling the story, is the Batman movies, the Batman Begins movies, and the new Batman movies. If you look at the Batmobile in those movies, and the Batcopter, whatever that thing was, the plane, it had sort of that angular body armor, and that's what this thing had. So we knew immediately whatever this is, we had the sense it's military and it's top secret, and we're not supposed to be seeing it, and it's using extremely advanced aerodynamic technologies that we're certainly not using in the tubes that we fly around in, the jets that we're still flying around in, commercial jets. So, and it just hovered over us for some time. I mean, for a good minute or two, which is a long time when you're just staring at something. You know, we could see the colors of the lights, the triangular lights on it. You know, we could see what looked like the cockpit with a darkened windshield around it. I got the sense, I don't know why I got this sense, Richard, but I got the sense that it was a drone. I have no proof that it was a drone, but I got the sense it was a drone. It was ours, and it was reverse engineered. And so I wanted to start the conversation off on that note, because these things are real. The U.S. military is absolutely in possession of exceedingly advanced technology that is light years ahead of what we're using on the commercial level. So I can confirm as an eyewitness that we have what I believe to be alien tech. And that, therefore, I think that it follows that there is indeed a breakaway civilization. So, Richard, why don't you take it from here? And
so, yeah, that's just a clip from his show. So we want to do that under fair use. That was quite interesting. The way he was describing that sounds very like a stealth plane, doesn't it? The angle sides and all that. And angular lights, which is kind of strange. So that's a new one. Haven't heard that before with a TR3b before, or triangle craft. And again, it does sound like it's US government secret tech, doesn't it? Rather than a UFO in that case. So that's what I've been saying all along, that I think the triangle ones are actually experimental secret craft. And those very big ones like Art Bell has seen, that he reckons are massive, flying towards Area 51, kind of still fits that they were working on that kind of technology there. Whenabouts did he see that? Back in the 80s, was it? So, yeah, whether it's reversed engineered, I don't know. Or some of the technology's been taken from alien craft, we just don't know. So you can see why they might want to cover it up, because they've got some advanced technology there that they didn't want the Chinese or the Russians or even North Korea to know about. So it makes me wonder if they flew one of these over Kim's palace in North Korea and gave him a nudge saying that we have far superior weapons than nukes. And don't be silly. So yeah, I'll post the link to that there anyway. But there is a full show where he's got another guest on, and Dolans just cut out the bit that he was on. So you can search it if you want to. Just search for Hagmann Dolan, and you'll get 2 references to it. I don't think they do all UFO stuff. I think they talk about politics and stuff as well. I guess Vibes of Truth, you've gone already, have you? Just one of the other watchers, someone new. Just say hello down the side there if you're someone new. So what's interesting about this sighting, I'm just wondering how similar it would be to Finn's in UK, which we'll have a look at next. So he's drawn some pictures here. Ghostly UFOs haunted in Roos, Monmouth Road. So it looks like it made the newspapers over in UK. A bit blurry, that cutout though, isn't it? So he got interviewed on Open Minds, which was a pretty good interview. I'm not sure if I could play a clip of it or not without getting in trouble. So I'll just see what it says here. Finian Handley is one of the administrators of Open Minds UFOs news group. Well, he used to be. He's not now, I don't think. And a UFO atheist. He approaches the topic with skepticism and tries to stay grounded in the field that can include some far-out claims. He also a UFO witness and realizes that the details of his shocking UFO encounter can seem far out to those who were not there to see it. On the evening of September 26, 2008, so it's 10 years ago, Finn saw 2 large triangle crafts coast over the highway. They were huge, but also silent. He has had a few encounters with the black triangles. Neat, I think he means next. Neat his house. Next to his house. Next to his home in southern eastern Wales. I wonder who proofread it. In this interview, we talked to Finn about his sighting, about the importance of remaining grounded, UFO information, and some of the hoaxing that he gets media attention. that gets some media attention. So he's probably talking about security in there. So I'll post that link there, and you can listen to the full interview podcast or whatever it is. But we'll listen to his sighting, which is also on a separate video with some graphics, so which is a bit better than the radio podcast. So this is TR3b sighting UK. Hopefully the graphics isn't corrupting. So we'll just close that one down. Busily working for it. 40 minutes already. That'll leave us some time for MUFON stuff. So yeah, let's play a clip of this one. And I'll post this link down the side. I did try to get hold of him tonight to see if I could have full permission, but he's not talking. So we'll just yeah, I'll take it from there, I guess. We'll just have a listen to what he's got to say. I can't remember what he actually said now, so even the first time that I get to, I'll speed it up a wee bit because it's quite long. Closed captions. So we got some? Yep. Okay, let's give it a try.
Walking down the street near my house. The weather is pretty much exactly the same as it was on the night when I had the sighting. About half a mile away from where it happened, 3/4 of a mile. So I'm just going to walk down to the dual carriageway, and then I shall carry on recording. Right, I'm now standing on the Y Bridge, looking up the river. See the direction of the river comes down here, goes under the bridge, carries on parallel to the dual carriageway. Everything looks a lot darker on the screen here than it does to the naked eye, but you get the general idea. Down ahead of me, there, the big building is the boys' school. Nice bit of lens flare. God knows who that is. Probably somebody who wants to be famous, thinks they're going to be on YouTube. Anyway, so I'm on the Y Bridge, just going to walk to the end of this path here and stop where that lorry just crossed in front of the frame. Now here I am at the traffic lights. These are the traffic lights. I came down this road on the left-hand side and I just stopped right there. The traffic lights were red. This is the Y Bridge here that I just walked over. I stopped here, and that's when I noticed kind of where that car is about now. Over to its right and above the street lights.
So there. It's got terrible wind noises on the thing. That's why I put the caps on, just in case. Hopefully it's loud enough though on the live. I think I've made it a bit louder than it normally is.
Slightly set back is where I spotted the two balls of light. So now I'm going to walk down parallel with the dual carriageway, just behind that road sign, the two road signs there. I'm going to walk down to where I was parallel to the balls of light, where I looked directly across at them, and I'll get a couple of photos and make another quick video clip. Where that truck is now, just going through the green lights, that's where I was stood during the last clip, right next to the traffic lights. So I was coming down here, and you go past a big patch of trees which block off your line of sight through to the boys' school, and now you can see the headmaster's house as the trees that were blocking your sight are out of the way now. You've got the headmaster's house here, we've got one of the boarding houses, and here we've got what used to be the squash courts and the swimming pool. So as I got to this point, I started to get a really good look at the balls of light which were hovering. If you look at these lights on the right-hand side of the road, go about 3 lights down, so I'll try and get the lens flare. Not this light, but about, kind of above those lights, but over to the right. So kind of there, wow, this lens flare is kind of handy. Kind of there is where these two balls of light were hovering. So I'll now walk up to this green road sign, which is pretty much parallel to where I was when I was looking directly across at them and probably my closest proximity to them. So I'm now just by the green sign, and having walked this route now, it's the first time I've actually re-walked it I've driven down here many a time. I mean, every day I would drive down here several times a day when I was driving the taxis. But when I'm walking down it, I realised I wasn't quite as far as the green sign because I was looking through a kind of dip in the trees. And I'll try and outline the tops of the trees here because you may not be able to see them on film, but they're about here, level with the street lights. But just here, where I'm standing now, they kind of dip down. Try and do that again. So they dip down and up and down and up, and they're kind of lower at this part. And it was here where I was looking directly across. So I am 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes away, and then there are trees directly by the roadside, and then I estimate about 20 meters behind those trees and above them were the 2 balls of light. So I put my finger out. The treetops are around here. The balls of light were just here and about 20 meters away and about this big, so actually possibly a little larger than a basketball. And the one of them, they were both incredibly bright. They were slightly brighter than the streetlights, same sort of colour. And the love
Makes you wonder, there's a lot of traffic going past there, why no one else has reported seeing it. Well, maybe they did. But here he said the 2 triangle craft uncloaked in the sky, and he watched it. Didn't have a camera, and then they zoomed off and then disappeared. So yeah, it's like these classic UFO triangle sightings. So that's how he got into UFOs, was Finn. You can find him on the Open Minds News group if you want to talk to him about it. Hey Rene, you're back. Aren't you meant to be sleeping? Yeah, we're talking about TR3bs, and we just looked at 2 credible witness accounts, but obviously no footage. So yeah, I'm not sure if you got to hear the other one that I just played. So we'll just carry on here because I think he talks more about it.
lower one had a large spike extending out of its right-hand side like this, and it was extending in length, and they were both fizzing intensely. So my immediate reaction was, I don't want to pull over on the road, partly because I'm on a motorway and I don't want someone to come up and smash into my back end, although at the time the road was quiet, there were no other cars on the road. Apart from one guy who, as we pulled off from the traffic lights, he was coming up behind me. So I'm coming down here, I started to slow down because I saw these orbs, and I started to indicate left, and I slowed down a lot because I was just trying to get a look at these things. As I drove past them, I'm looking out the window, and he started to flash me, and then he overtook me. I think he was thinking I was just a really bad driver. I don't think he saw the lights, he didn't slow down, he was just trying to overtake me and get past me. I think he thought, this guy's an idiot. So he flashed me. I think he beeped as well, I can't remember exactly. I think he beeped, but I just remember thinking, I don't really care about this guy, I just don't want him to crash into my back end, so I'm indicating, and I don't really care about whether he thinks I'm an idiot or not, because I want to get out of the car and have a look at these orbs. So, we're by the sign now. I knew, because I know this stretch of road like the back of my hand, it runs parallel to the town centre, the street that runs down the town centre. I knew that I wanted to pull over, and the safest place to pull over was in the slip road, which is where that car is right now.
So what's he saying here? When previously describing the event to people, I had estimated that the time it took to drive that stretch of road, pull over the car and get out was approximately 10 to 15 seconds. That's 10 to 15 seconds, during which time I was not looking at the orbs, so I decided to test out the accuracy of this time estimation by filming these clips. That test follows. Okay.
Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's amazing though that all that traffic there, and that will probably been the same time that he saw the sighting, that no one else stopped to have a look what was going on.
So I was about right, about 10 seconds, and he was going not too fast. He was going about 40, maybe 50 miles an hour, and I was slowing down, so I was going a bit slower than that. But he took about 10 seconds to get from where I was directly opposite the orbs to the slip road where I pulled over. So my rough estimation of about 15 seconds between seeing the orbs and driving away and pulling over, I think is about right. About 10 to 15 seconds, probably closer. probably closer to 15 seconds. So I'll walk down there now.
They drive like maniacs over there. You wouldn't want to be hit by that car while you're looking at UFOs, that's for sure.
This is a slip road. I pulled over in this slip road and parked right next to where those arrows are. Jumped out, walked into the middle of the road because there was no other traffic on the road. And I looked back up, and you can see the street signs. You see the grey one in the middle here. Just beyond that and below it is another one. That is parallel to where the orbs were when I was standing there looking across, or when I was driving past them at the time, looking directly across the road at the orbs, which were hovering above trees set back from the street lights on the road. And the triangles were in exactly the same place. So let me get this. Oh, look at that, that's handy. Kind of there. There they were. And they were already jutting out in front of the street lights. They were quite large. Let's see if I can get some lens flare to help me out with this. Not really. Bear in mind, the road was silent. There were no other cars on the road. I was totally alone, stood in the middle of the road, staring over towards these black triangles. Which, and I shall take some still photos of this and try and give you a better idea of the brightness, because as you can see, it's quite well lit, even on camera here, where things look darker than they are. But basically,
so it's got them up here. So we'll zoom in on that triangle craft. So he's saying there was only another car behind him, but no other cars since. Kind of strange.
Basically halfway between where I am now and the traffic lights, and I've worked it out on Google Earth, 250 meters away, with these two large black triangles, and they were literally about 5 meters, maybe 6 or 7 meters above the street lights, incredibly low, lit up by the street lights and the ambient light. So I got a good estimation of the rough size of them, because I'm stood parallel, roughly, to the petrol station at the bottom end of Monmouth, which I know very well. It's the only petrol station in Monmouth these days, and it has a roof above it. It's a 12-pump petrol station, so 12 cars can easily sit underneath the roof. Each triangle was about the size of the roof of that petrol station. So I was in a really nice position to be able to estimate.
So I wonder where Monmouth is exactly. So let's see if we can find it on Google Earth, Google Maps. Monmouth, UK. Probably spelled it wrong, have I? Let's found something. Maps. There's a bridge already. Now, that's not the same place. So how do you spell it? I'll just go back. Monmouth, okay. Now, they've got a lot of place names in the UK. Well, that's how I spelt it, Monmouth. Well, that's what it found anyway. Oh, there it is, over in Monmouth. Two places, similar names. So this must be the highway that he was on. Over the river. Could it be that one there? Near the river. Let's put the map, satellite map on. Looks very green there. That's for sure. So can we see a petrol station? A40 is it? You can see cars. There's the river way, that's right, he said that was that. So this is the bridge going over. But where's the petrol station? That's where we meant to have him on as a guest. I did invite him on. I said I'd be talking about his sighting tonight. I said he can drop on any time he wants to. What else did he say before? Petrol station, but before that he mentioned a place. Petrol station with a flat roof. Not seen it. Let's zoom out a bit again. Makes you wonder why they'd have two TR3bs hanging over the road there, though. It looks like a strange place to hang out. Unless they had one that had a fault and the other one stopped just to help out, maybe. I don't know. They're always finding so-called UFOs on Google Earth. A lot of them turn out to be artifacts from water droplets and also hot air balloons and undersea, what do you call it? Undersea tanks of some kind, like storage tanks, because they do have pipes under the sea for oil from oil rigs. And also you have fish farms, and they use tanks to hold up like floating farm nets. So yeah, you got to be careful. Google Earth stuff. There's a lot of explanations from, but I was just trying to find this flat roof petrol station, so we've got the right location for his sighting. Of course, he may add it himself to the video. I haven't watched all of it. Nursery. Monmouth School. Didn't he say school earlier? So it might be coming in this way. Rowing club. Car centre. Is that the petrol station here, perhaps? Oops. No, looks like a car park of some kind. Still can't see that petrol station. Aha. Could that be the road he's on? And the lights are... Where's the lights? We need to find the lights. So, let's have a look. I can't see that. Where's that looking? Which direction? On Google Earth, 25 meters away.
The side. Now I knew.
I think we just might have to see if we can find it the hard way. So what's it say there? He did point to it before, didn't he? Petrol station, where was it? Okay, can't see that spot in the video. So let's have a look. It's got to be here somewhere. I wonder if we can type petrol station in. You said there's only one in the city. So it should be easy to spot it, shouldn't it? Well, there's the pub. Queen's Head. Pizza. Still can't see a petrol station. What's that place there? Around the belt. What's this here? What is that? It's like a bridge going across paddocks, is it? Probably gone too far now. It's a strange road. So yeah, we're not getting too many people watching tonight, huh? Well, it's in Wells. Wonder how far away from Robert he lives. I wonder if they've meet up by now, or met up, I should say. Well, it looks like another city there. So we're gone too far, I think. Well, there's a service station here, though. He didn't say the name of it, though, did he? Does that look like the same in the video? It's hard to know, isn't it? At the bottom end of Monmouth. Whatever he means bottom end, I don't know. Suppose we have to go do street view, do we? Let's drop there, maybe. Oh. Ah. Going crazy. Ah! Slow down, you silly thing. No, no, no. Well, this is stupid. Ah, come on. As soon as I get close to the road, it goes crazy. Another technical problem. Maybe I have to start down here. So, that's going in the wrong direction, isn't it? Come on. Should be up here. Now where have I gone? I'm lost now. Is that the petrol station? Don't know, the same one. Keep going. Am I going the wrong way? I probably am, aren't I? How do we get back out of this? Street view, how'd you get out of it? Oh, here we go. Wee Valley. How to get off? I'm completely lost now. There it is. Yeah. It's on the bend. Come on. There's got to be a way of doing this. Ah! Crazy system. Oh, petrol station. Here we go. Okay. Although I think we're behind it, aren't we? Let's go forward. Oh, now what's happened? There it is. Still the wrong side of it, I think. Need to go further around. Seems too far away now. Don't think it's the same garage. Anyway, we'll just carry on with the video. Maybe get some clues later on.
It's the only petrol station in Monmouth these days, and it has a roof above it. It's a 12-pump petrol station, so 12 cars can easily sit underneath the roof. Each triangle was about the size of the roof of that petrol station. So I was in a really nice position to be able to estimate the size of these triangles. And once these cars go past, I'll walk into the middle of the road and try and get a better shot of the of that stretch of road. Don't want to get run over just for the sake of a UFO sighting. That wouldn't be. Don't think that was the point. Whatever it was, don't think it was so that I could come here a few years later and get run over. So parked at the taxi, got out, turned around, and that's when I'm saying, what the hell is that? As these two black triangles go. No, they weren't perfectly black. They were kind of like a very dark grey, because I could see them being lit up by the street lights underneath. They were not like, you look on YouTube and you look at the stealth bomber flying over people at air shows. You can see it is pitch black. It's, even in daylight, it absorbs absolutely all light. You don't see any reflections coming from the bottom of it. You just see this black slate, absolutely perfectly black, absorbing all light. This was not like that. These things were slightly lit up by the ambient street light. I could see the surface of them. So as I walk back towards the Y Bridge, away from the place where it all happened.
Y Bridge.
I hope that was
So
informative.
we need to find that Y Bridge. How do I get out of this again? Y Bridge. Y Bridge. Strange name, wasn't it? Really? So there, it looks like a concrete. So it was where I said it was. It was that one going across. So now we've pinned it. So there must be a petrol station here somewhere. So it was the wrong petrol station. So is that the petrol station there? Looks like a flat roof, doesn't it? Monmouth. Oh no, it's a regular building. So where's this petrol station? It's really annoying me. So let's keep going. Towards the bridge. There's the bridge. And there's these lights going along. Is there a petrol station here, maybe? Can't see it. Oh, what's that place there? Still can't see the petrol station. Unless the map's changed since in 10 years, which is possible. I would have thought it was here that he was looking at down here. Oh, what's that there? It looks like sewage works or something. Irrigation station. No fun, we can't find that petrol station. So well, let's type it in. Bridge petrol station, maybe. Station. Station. Petrol station, maybe change that. Americans call it gas, of course. Truck stop, they call it. So just come up with that Golf DAF service station. Is that the only one? Maybe it is that one still. Does look like it. And although it says Shell here, so what's that one there? Where's it gone? Shell. Over Monmouth. Well, there's the bridge he's talking about going across where the UFO sighting was. Well, that petrol station is a long way away. Garage. Mind you, it does kind of look like it. Hang on, keep on going down. It's hard to know. We'd have to get him on the air. Piddits. And there's a bridge there going over Monmouth River, but he was saying we, so I don't think it's the same one. Okay, well, we've sort of got an idea anyway, I guess. Whoops. Looks like we've lost Renee, have we? No one wanted to watch tonight. Does help to have some interaction with people. Let's just see if anyone's around. No, I don't know what's happening to people lately. So yeah. There's no petrol station from what we can see over that bridge. So it doesn't, that's all right. We'll carry on and listen to the rest of it, I guess, see if there's anything else there. So what are we up to?
Informative. I'm going to do some work in Photoshop with some panoramic shots I've taken to try and give you a better idea of exactly what it looked like and just how unambiguous and strange the whole thing was. God, I look good in a hoodie and a... actually, my nose is huge. I don't know what's going on there. Blame Dad. So it's been fun. I'm going to try and get home now without getting mugged, or run over, or abducted. Although that might be pretty cool. If I do get abducted, I'll do a Photoshop job of that as well, show you exactly what it looked like.
At least he's funny.
So now I'm back home in the warm. It was mighty windy that night, a few nights ago, when I made those videos. But I thought I might as well add a couple of things onto the end, because might as well make this the definitive version, the telling of the story, so that I could just send people to one link rather than having to send them to several different links. Because originally, when I did make some Photoshop recreations of this, they were done using Google Earth Street View images, which of course are photographs that have been taken during the day. And I was having to explain to people every time I sent them the images that, of course, they weren't quite accurate, because this did happen at about around 10:20 at night. So I was having to explain, obviously these are daytime shots and it didn't look exactly like that. So now that I've made these, now I've taken these photos at night and I've made these much more accurate Photoshop reconstructions, I'm also just going to quickly run through a couple of other images I've made and some of the newspaper articles that came out in the weeks following the event. So this first image is one I made in Photoshop, and it basically shows, it gives you a better idea of the distances involved. So at the top right, you can see where I was sat at the traffic lights when I first saw.
Yeah, so he might have the petrol station there, has he? Now, what's that say? Yeah, I can't see it very well. Carry on.
The orbs, and then I started to drive along until I was parallel with them, and you can see that they are set back from the road slightly. I think they were roughly hovering above some trees in a place called Chippenham Park, and then I carried on down to the slip road, which is another 250 meters beyond the area where the orbs were hovering. So as I've already showed in some of the previous video clips, that took about 15 seconds for me. After driving directly past the orbs to pulling over, I think it took about 15 seconds, during which time I was concentrating on pulling over, so I wasn't able to look at the orbs.
So the orbs are there. What's that bit up there? He's standing there, he saw him there. 215 meters. Okay.
For that period. This is exactly what the orbs look like. I've spent a lot of time trying to get this right, and this is what they look like. They were very sharp. They had sharp edges, quite sharply defined edges, and they just looked like perfectly made glass balls with an intense light coming out of them that was amber in colour, and they were fizzing around the edge as if they were unstable. And of course, the bottom one had this large spike sticking out of its right-hand side, which was elongating in length. As it was coming out, it was kind of shaking and getting longer. And I really did not feel safe while I was driving past these, and I was quite happy to get a bit of distance between me and them before pulling over and getting out of the car. So it was convenient that the slip road allowed me to pull over safely without having to worry about any cars coming along and smashing into my back end. So this is the next image I made, and this just shows, it gives you a good idea of the size of the triangles, which you can now see better. Thanks to this next photo or Photoshop recreation, which has been done using actual nighttime photos that I have just got. So you can see, you can get the idea that they were equilateral triangles at this point.
Okay.
And they were very low, only, like I said before, only about 5, maybe 7 meters above the street lights. So after looking at them for a couple of seconds, they were just hovering there, and then they started to move across the road very slowly. It was at walking pace. It was incredibly slowly. And as they got about halfway across, they momentarily became transparent, which I'll show you in the next photo. And they were also elongating in length as they crossed the road. They were kind of stretching out. The nose was traveling faster than the back end was traveling. And I've had people quite rightly ask me maybe that this was an illusion caused by them turning, and maybe they were always quite long, but they looked shortened. No, they were actually, as they were crossing over, they were actually elongating in length. They weren't turning as they were going across the road. They just were going straight across the road and elongating in length as they went. So this shows them as they were kind of rippling like the ripples on a pond. And that rippling effect only lasted about just under a second. It was really bizarre. So the rippling happened, and then they went solid again. The whole time they were still elongating. So by the time they got to the other side of the road, as you can see now, they were now much longer, more pointy triangles. And this just gives you another way of looking at the...
So here we go. Roof over pumps at nearby petrol station, but we didn't actually see that though, did we? On the map. So here's his triangles. So where was that on the map then?
My estimation of the elongation.
So how much has he got there? Well, let's have a look on the map again. So it's on the... It's like a bendy bit here. And there's the bridge go across that direction. So maybe it was that one we're looking at. Where is it going? So we're looking at it in the wrong direction. So where's that bit? Down here, wasn't it? Petrol station. Yes, here's the bendy bit. Same as his video. So it was that one. We can't sort of scroll it down.
And you can...
Goes around, tree line, bends around. Looks like the same place, I think. And bends around, tree line. So the UFOs were coming. I thought he said it was the River V, not Mono. So it can't be that bridge. Must be this bridge. It's a wee bit confusing. So if we go to Street View, oh no, we got that problem again. Street View is stupid. I've lost my place now. Oh, here it is. I just want to drop it on there without moving. There we go. So now, which direction are we? Completely lost. So what's this map here saying? Petrol station to the left, is it? That way? No, getting a bit more confusing. I can't see petrol station. That direction over that way. I suppose we have to keep going down the road until we get further away. Then we know whereabouts we're going wrong. Can we make that bigger? That might be the petrol station over there, is it? Nope. Think we're going the wrong way again. Hey, we got two people watching. Are you back, Renee? I think I've gone the wrong direction. Can we click on this little mini map? Maybe you can. I want to go there. Yeah. Where's it taking us? That's not where I clicked. What the hell? Way away. Want to go to here? Still not even close. There. There. This Google Maps is going to drive me crazy. So we're going way away from that. Oh, you stupid thing. Can I drag it from there? No. Must be an easier way to do this. Expand. Where's my man? Why is it not moving? Move there. Oh, this is driving me crazy. Click highlights area to see maps. It's not allowing me to click now. Where's the damn petrol station gone? Oh, here. Must be a way I can drag that. Is that the petrol station there? No, I don't think so. Oh, there it is. Here. Why is it so fast? Why does it do that? Oh, this is stupid. Well, at least we're going to be closer this time, I think. So, which direction is the road for the petrol station? Coming this way, I think. Let's go up here. Can we move quicker? Yeah, I think we're on the right road now. Now, petrol station should be ahead. There it is. Is it one? No. Should be here. Keep going. Should be onto it. What's that on the sign? Still not seeing a petrol station. Is that it there? No, it looks like a building. Says garage though. So we're going this direction. We're going the wrong way. Must be around the corner. No, we're going the wrong direction. Going further away from it. How did that happen? Completely lost now. Rotating. Now it's got the arrow going in the opposite direction now. I think we're heading towards it. Finally. I've been here before, that's where we go wrong. We seem to be turning the wrong direction for some reason. Keeps wanting me to turn around. Is that the garage there? It is too. There it is. It's got a big truck in front of it. So we can't sort of match it, can we? So the UFO must be this direction then, is it? Let's have a look. Now it's gone and flipped us around for some reason. So there's the garage he talks about. Here. And the UFO's up there. So it's going the wrong direction, I think. Garage on... There's the tree line here, I think. Going around this way. Now I'm confused. Where are we going? Well, if we can drop down onto this road here. So it's in between that bit and that bit. So we need to be here. How do we get there? Ah, that worked. Double click. So that must be the location then. Okay. We'll carry on.
See in the lower left corner, that is the petrol garage that I showed you earlier. So that gives you an idea of the sort of size I estimate them to be, because that is the, excuse me, that is the roof that you can see circled there in red. This was the first pencil drawing I made of the triangles, which you can tell, is quite rudimentary. Yeah, I found it. I took several attempts to even get it this good, and I found it really difficult to draw triangles from an angle underneath and have the one that was further away look the same as the one that was close. So thankfully, Photoshop has enabled me to do that much more accurately. This within 10 days of this happening, I decided to, within a week of this happening, I decided to ring up the Forest Review, which is one of the local newspapers, which has previously had UFO reports in it, and I had seen a couple of those UFO reports, so I thought this was a good place to contact regarding what had happened. And it did take me about a week to pluck up the courage to do that, because I was thinking, oh, should I, shouldn't I? And eventually I thought, yeah, I've got to get this on the record so that in future other people can, anyone who's interested or any UFO researchers can hopefully come across it. And luckily, they have come across it. Timothy Good was one person who did come across it, and he spoke about it on a radio show, which I just happened to be listening to at the time, a couple of years later. And I got in touch with him, and he ended up featuring it in one of his books. So that was the first article. A week later, I was really pleasantly surprised to see in the next issue of the Forest Review that a couple of other people had written in saying they had seen similar things. One of them was a woman who said she saw something in 1994, and it was two triangles crossing over the road about 8 miles up the A40, up the dual carriageway from Monmouth towards Ross-on-Wye, over a place called Weir End House. She'd been driving with her husband, and she saw these two triangles crossing low over the road in very much the same way that I described. And you may be able to read that if you've got high definition. You can pause it and read the article there. So she said that they had thousands of lights. It looked like they had thousands of tiny white lights on the underside. So that was really interesting to see that not only had she seen a similar thing not very far away, but that it happened in 1994. Kind of strange, but it looks pretty much the same. You know, she said they were, it was two of them traveling side by side, so really strange. She said that if you read it here, it says, we did not know what to do, but rang the police, who eventually directed us to a Ministry of Defence number. We talked to an officer for about half an hour, and he eventually said he was convinced that we were genuine. There were no other aircraft in the area at the time, he confirmed. So that's fascinating. And I was so relieved to see that other people were kind of, at least in part, backing me up. Because honestly, at the time that it happened,
I'll just get rid of that on screen there so we can zoom in a bit better. Closed captions. Let's see, can I get it even more zoomed? Where's my zoom thing? Can we read it? It's not that great, is it? What are we on for quality? Yeah, he should have cut around it and made it to like full screen. He's got too much of the paper clipping, hasn't he? Last week's review report on Monmouth man who spotted strange triangle craft flying over the town has prompted others to back up his story. Among them is a Westbury man who says the description of the craft, can't quite read that, outlined is almost identical to a sight I had, what's that word, last winter, travelling south along the Adset Road, Westbury, on a slightly moonlit evening. I was, and now it's getting blurry, of a something, so we can't see the bottom of the page because we paused it, is it, maybe?
happened, and at the time that I decided to send the report to the newspaper,
here we go.
I thought I was probably the only one that had seen these
I was
balls of light
aware
and these
of the
triangles.
triangle craft travelling
So it was
very
somewhat of a
slowly
relief
above.
a week later to see this.
Absolutely no sound. It appeared to be slate grey or black. And I wonder why they're showing up in that particular area then. The, what's that word there? Estimates the craft would be at least 12 or 15 meters long. And there's a woman here. A white church woman said she and her husband saw the craft crossing, is it? The A40 in much the same way as the recent reports. Well, Finn's report, I guess. What's that one say? 1994. My son rang to tell me he was, can't quite read that, going to road out over, yeah.
Headline. In fact, I was really, really happy because it says UFO spotter is not alone. And again, they featured my picture, but this time on the front page, whereas the first time it had been several pages in. So that was really satisfying to see that. And then yet another week later, so remember it happened on the 26th, the article with my report in was then published on October the 10th. On October the 17th we had this one. And then another week later, on October the 24th, another report. This one says, among the latest reports is one from Mrs. Patra Hearn, who said that she also saw the craft on the night of the first report, September the 26th. That's the night that I saw him. But earlier on in the evening, and near Weisham.
Let's see. The sighting of strange craft over the forest and the Wee Valley reported in the last two issues of the review have been backed up by accounts. Sightings from 1978 to 87. Triangular craft like the ones recently described Officials now seem to be less sure or less covert about such sightings. I need to turn that off again. Officials saying, some even saying they believe there is something out there, but whether there is terrestrial or extraterrestrial source is still uncertain. Among the latest reports is one from Mrs. Pat. How'd you say that one? Who said she also saw the craft the night of the first report, September 22nd, 26, but early in the evening and near Wysham. She said she did not fear ridicule and was not worried about putting her name to the claim. Unlike other spotters, she thought she could, spelling mistake there, could hear a deep low droning as the craft passed over her. Cool. I wish that would happen to me. I'd like to see something like that. While most other reports were of Monmouth area sightings, some dating back some time, there were also reports of similar craft at Newham and parts of the forest. Meanwhile, one reader travelling between Ninny and Gloucester a week ago photographed what could have been unusual cloud formation. He suggests alien craft arrived or just about to go. So he hasn't got that on the screen there as a photograph. So what's interesting though, he talked about them being orbs of light to start with one with a spike coming out the side. Hello guys, I see there's 5 suddenly joining us. Welcome to the Out There channel. Thanks for the likes. So we're just going over Finn Handley's sighting from the UK. He's often on the Open Minds news group, and he's put this video out, which I'll post down the side so people can re-watch if they want. So yeah, I've been pausing it and trying to find it on the map, and we had lots of fun. So basically it was over here, flying over the river. Well, 2 of them anyway.
She was just over the river from where I had the sighting. She said that she thought she could hear a deep low droning as the craft passed over. So that's really interesting. So that was October the 24th, and in the same edition of that newspaper, again on October the 24th, but in the letters to the editor section, there was this letter from a gentleman who said that saw what I saw, and he wanted to get in touch with me, but because my original report had been done anonymously, although obviously the editor knew who I was, but I said, when they print it, can they not mention my name? So this gentleman says in his letter, as you can see here, that he said he wanted to get in contact with me, so if they could provide my details, he would like that. So I read this and I rang them up and I said, I'd love to talk to him about it. So they gave me his number, I rang him up, and we spoke for about 20 minutes about it. It turns out he's a really nice older gentleman called Ray, who lives about 3 streets away from me in Wysham, and he'd been stood in his garden and he saw them going low over his house. You can read it there. He says that the strangest part was that they were travelling so slowly they should have dropped out of the sky, which was one of the strangest things about what I noticed. They were travelling incredibly slowly. Certainly no jet or stealth bomber type thing that I've seen before. So yeah, when I was talking to him, I asked him. I remember asking him, "What did the lights on the underside look like?" And he said that they were all white. So that's interesting because they were definitely a row of blue lights. It was one of the most distinctive things about them, a row of big blue lights on each triangle when I saw them. But when he saw them, they were all the lights were white. So that's interesting. But as they were crossing the road when I saw them, as they turned their back end to me and headed up, one of them headed up the dual carriageway and the other one eventually turned over the wide bridge heading towards Wysham where he saw them. As they turned their back end to me, all of the lights on them faded to white, which was another bizarre part of the sighting. I don't know why they would do that. So it's interesting that then when he saw them, all of the lights were white. So that was October the 24th. On October the 31st, another week later, yet another person had written in, or a couple of other people. And this one, she says, And this was again on Friday the 26th of September between 10 and 11 p.m, so same sort of time as my sighting. But this was a woman in Clearwell, and I'll show you where Clearwell is. It's just the road from Monmouth. It's about 10 minutes drive away. And she said there was a big thing hanging over the house. You can read the rest of the article there. But the interesting part is that Ray, in his letter to the editor section, in that letter he says that unlike when I saw them, when he saw them, they were facing towards Penalt and heading in that direction. And as you'll see in a minute, I've made a graphic to show what I'm talking about. Just beyond Penalt, if you go for a Wysham and you go to Penalt and then you carry on in roughly a straight line, you'll end up in Clearwell. So really interesting to see that I saw them. I saw one of them heading towards Wysham. He saw both of them in Wysham. And then a woman in Clearwell sees them. Of course, we don't know the exact time that he saw them or that she saw them, but she said it was between 10 and 11. I think Ray said actually it was earlier in the evening than my sighting. But so this shows Weir End House is up at the top. That was in the one of the earlier articles, the woman who said in 1994 she saw them passing over Weir End House. That's 8 miles from Monmouth. I saw them at 20 past 10 at night. And one of them headed up the motorway, but the other one headed over the bridge towards Wysham. Ray and Pat Traherne both said that they saw them in Wysham. And if you look over to the right there and follow the blue line, Penalt is just beyond Wysham. That's about 5 minutes drive from Monmouth, depending where you are in Monmouth, but between 5 and 10 minutes drive from Monmouth. So Ray said he saw them heading towards Penalt. And then Hope Talbot says she was in Clearwell and she saw them, but they were heading towards Newland. So I just thought I'd point that out for those who aren't familiar with Monmouth. And that's about it. I shall leave you with these 2 pictures that I've spent a lot of time on to make sure that they're as accurate as I can get them. And I just want to say thanks to everyone who's taken an interest in this. I hope this was informative. And thanks to my friends over the years who I've told about it, who have been very understanding and not ridiculed.
So we really need to get this guy on our channel so we can ask him some questions. I want to know why the orbs turned into triangles, because he doesn't sort of mention why. I'm not sure. Did it decloak, or was it like a light on the black triangle that you couldn't see? You know, like he's looking at the back end of it and he's only seeing one light until he comes right underneath it. So it's not terribly clear there, but yeah. So if he's watching, I told him I was going to talk about it tonight. So if he's watching, he could put a comment down and say why the orbs turned into triangles was my question. But yeah, it's good. Good thing. Good story. Shame he didn't have his smartphone back then. What year was that? 2008? I suppose that's early smartphones without cameras on them, isn't it? Just trying to think when the early smartphones came out with cameras. When did the first iPhone come out? I think he uses iPhone. First smartphone. Probably expensive too, probably like $1,000. First smartphone. Okay. Samsung unveils the Galaxy 9, the world's first smartphone with quad lens rear camera. So that's a quad lens. What's that mean? Complete history of camera phone. There we go. Nokia N8 smartphone is the first smartphone with a 12 megapixel. We want something that goes back to 3 or 2 megapixels, don't we? First smartphone, camera phone. First real camera phone was produced by Sharp and released in Japan November of 2000. Okay. Oh yeah. Got a camera on the back. So it's 110,000 pixel, or 0.1111 megapixels. Now we're talking about 20 megapixels. This is only 0.11. So, and it probably wouldn't even worked at night time, hey? So yeah, what's iPhone? First released. I'm not really a Apple fan. I don't know about you guys out there. Did the 5Gs come, I think, 12 years? Doesn't tell us straight away, does it? First generation. So yeah, there you go. 2007. So that's when we're starting to get real phones coming out with cameras. 3G 2008. I wonder what it cost back then. Probably above his pay, probably. 3G 2008 iPhone. Probably have to search what did the iPhone cost back then. iPhone 3G 2008 cost. So we need them on here so we can ask all these questions. Whether we had a phone at all. So it says down here, 2007, it was 499 US with 4 gigabytes, 600 for 8 gigabytes. So yeah, we're looking probably at $1,000 probably. Well, what is that in pounds? 800 pounds. It's probably a bit expensive for a phone for most people at that stage. So there. So did I post that? I did, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's all the ones I was going to cover for triangles anyway. So that leaves open for anything else, I guess. So just close that tab. Hopefully we'll get him to come on sometime and retell the story. And we can ask him some questions. So he is on Facebook mostly anyway. So yeah. I don't know if my site chatters are up yet or about. Let's see, no. I don't know what's happened to them tonight. So, yeah, so UFO stalker, I guess. So who's out there, Renee? You're meant to be sleeping. Thanks, Renee. You're liking what I'm doing. That's good. What's the 2 UFO triangles on Google Maps? Did you find it? Which one are you talking about there? We can have a look now. We've finished that story. Do you know what it's called? Look at UFO in the sky. UFO in the sky. Starbuck Island UFO. Oh well, let's have a look, man. Can I cut and paste it? Save me typing. Millennium Falcon type UFO crash. It kind of sounds a bit suspect straight away, doesn't it? Stranded on Starbuck. Is that the one that's upside down a ship? Yeah, that's a ship. There you go. Look, it's this upside down ship. That one's debunked. So yeah. It's only because it sort of hasn't got street view there. Well, it's that third phase of the moon one. You can see there's the hull. It's going around to the front of the boat and back around. It's just unproportional, isn't it? You can see how it's sort of dragged across the sand here. It's definitely a ship. Or what do you call it? Like a trawler, fishing boat. It looks like the cabin with the windows here, even. But that could be the hull. Let's have a look. Could be a hull. Looks like it got ripped. It's not the best of pictures. I wonder if Google's updated it. You can bet if it's on third phase on the moon that it's going to be explainable. So, is that what you wanted to know? 2 UFOs triangles on Google Maps. Are you talking about Finn's story or some other ones? Street lamp. Oh, right, he's talking about. Looks like the Baltic Sea Millennium Falcon. I'm not sure how they get that. So there's the image here next to Millennium Falcon. To me, it just looks like a boat. All right, there's a bit going across here. 2 holes, maybe. No, we don't want to play that. But we've been through Google Earth UFOs before, haven't we? So there's no point in re-hacking it. What's this one? And that's just the irrigation pond here. That's from what's his name? Tyler from Secure Team. Just the irrigation pond. Oh, so this is the Starbuck Island, we got 2 wartime planes. UFO mania. Starbuck Island. I'd say that probably got a few shipwrecks around it. So that must be where the boat is, this end, is it? Yep. What's that one there? Oh, that's the snow one. So moving on. Hopefully we can get some better stuff. So he's out there still. Hey, how's it going? One life man. Any good news for UFO? Yes, we just looked at 2 brilliant UFO cases. You probably want to watch it when it's offline. So we've been 2 hours going over them. Hopefully we'll get the guy on sometime. I've been trying to. I wanted to do what we've done tonight, but have him up in the chat so we can ask him some questions. So yeah, see how it goes. So maybe in future. So let's have a look what's around the world at the moment. So what's the date today? It must be, oh yeah, December the 7th here. So you guys must be nearing it because we're always a day ahead. So it's near midnight here. Thanks for giving the likes, guys. That helps out a lot. Looks like my subs went up pretty quick since last stream. Went from 50 all the way up to 59. Although I lose some and gain some. So is there any decent ones on here to look at? Oregon, we've got some triangles again. Think that we've probably covered the same ones though. If we got some pictures. Nope. Nope. Black triangle. Vancouver. I think that's the one we saw last time. No, there's 2 circles, so that's the one we said was just clouds. Yeah, no sighting, no picture on me. No picture again. And there was one that got closed by MUFON this week. It was 3 people, so I'm not sure whereabouts that one was. Further down, probably. It was outside the Air Force Base, he said. It was closed as unknown. Los Angeles. Have to be here somewhere. I wonder if it was that one. Well, let's open it up. No, it doesn't sound like 3 people. So when you get 3 witnesses on, it's pretty good sighting, isn't it? So you got 3 people that you can interview. Kayak and yeah, it's on a river there, is it? Oh, there's a river. So what's he saying? Although we haven't got a picture to look at. Driving northwest from Tri-Cities to Yakima, observed extremely bright lights in the distance. Thought it was a really large plane that was flying really low, stopped in Grandview, got out car. Oops, probably need to reduce my magnification again. Oh, too much. Here we go. That's probably better. Got out the car. The object flew straight over us. We saw the very large, low-flying craft. I thought I said kayak, but it's that word there. With 3 stationary white lights in a triangle formation with 1 red blinking light in the center. But that's the same as a plane, though. Plane have strobe lights. It appeared to be very large, low-flying, and made no noise. Completely silent, it seemed to move smoothly in a straight line. I don't know. It still sounds like a plane, that one. That's probably the one that you'd have to plug into planefinder. So we could probably try it, I guess. 8th for the 11th. Washington. So they've got a place called Washington in California, is it? Or, because it was in California, wasn't it? Let's plug it in. Get it on Google Maps at least. Let's come up here, USA. Alright, looks like it's Seattle. Well, what's going on here? Does it make sense? What's into the map? Look at that. Oh, here we go. What's that do? Makes no sense. Photosphere. Okay, turn that off. So zoom back in. Is it on? Well, it does look like it's in the top of Oregon. Yeah, it is in Washington. For some reason, I thought that was on the other side of America. This shows how bad I know all the places in America. British Columbia. I thought it was way over here. Or is there a place called Washington in DC, isn't it? Isn't it that side? I'm getting confused. Area 51. You reckon go and look for sightings over there? Yeah, there's probably a few. Seattle, Oregon, Washington. Okay. Planefinder. That's going to be fun, I think. Trying to pin it on the planefinder map. Is that the one? No, that's not it. Where is it on the tabs? Next one. So what time is it? Where you at there? One Life Man? There's Los Angeles, so it was further up here. Now I'm lost. What's that one say? Where's Oregon? San Francisco. Salem, that's where the witches were burnt at the stake. So that's where Salem was. Okay. Portland. There's certainly a lot of water. Up this way. Vancouver. I think we've gone past it, haven't we? Shame you can't just simply drop a link from Google Maps onto it. Seattle, so it was Seattle. So it was around here somewhere. Washington. Further up, maybe. Looks like too many mountains there. I think we've gone too far again. Oh yeah, I'm lost Seattle. So it's down diagonally. So go in the right direction, down this way. Should be here, shouldn't it? What's that say? Richland. Further down. Oregon. Nevada. So it's near Area 51, is it? Twin Falls. Isn't there a TV show called that? Completely lost again. Washington. You're probably all screaming at me. Further up, further up, further up. Where was it now? There it is. So already there's a plane heading that way. So where's this Washington here? Grandview, he said, wasn't it? There's Grandview. So here's it on the map here. Grandview. So there was that spot on the name. So that's where we want to roll to, and we need 8th of November, 8:30 at night. I'll probably forget. So Grandview, I've lost track of it now. Right in the middle here. So we're looking for planes right over top on 8th of November. And if there's no planes there, then we saw something special, I guess. So, was it this year? Yep. And we'll try that. We've got to get the UT signs. So we're 2 hours. Now let's see. That's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. We need to add on 8 o'clock, wasn't it? I can't think. 9 hours. I need to add on 9 hours. So there's a plane. Close to where he saw. 9 hours. So if we add 9 hours, that makes it next day at 2 a.m. Because we've got to get it to UT sign, Universal Date Calendar. So 12, 13, still not right. Hang on, was it at night time? 20, so we need to get to 20. So we need to add on another 7 hours. 8. Oh, that's close to it. Here comes planes. Going towards his location. Splitting off. And driving past him. There's closest planes to his sighting. So if he's here and he's watching a plane almost flying straight away from him, he's only going to see the 3 lights and the undercarriage from a distance. So that sort of matches up with this plane here. And how high up is it? 30,000 feet. So he'll definitely see underneath it. So I think that one's probably debunked, eh? Sort of a good old match there. So it would seem to be hovering because he's standing here and it's moving away. And obviously it will slowly disappear. So that one probably is well and truly debunked, unfortunately. As you know, planes have 3 lights, white lights with a red light underneath. What was that plane type? I could even type in the plane model. So what type is it? It's a Delta Air. It's a Boeing 737. So I don't know if you can read that there. 737 900. I think we've looked at those ones before. Underneath lights. Boeing 737 900. Okay, so we need to find a decent picture. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get one for night probably. What's that one here? Probably have to put lights underneath. No, we got lights. Nighttime maybe. At night time, 8 o'clock. Time. Well, that's not night time, Google. This shows the search engine's a bit stupid. So what's that one over the side here? So it's sort of giving us some bright lights here. So he would have seen the light, the bright white light on the tail, and there's also two lights either side of the wings. Now you can see here the other lights, how it's sort of lit up the whole engine here, and here's the bright red one underneath. So he would have seen that white light tail and either side of the lights of the wings. But I think there's also a white light on the wingtips looking backwards as well. So yeah, shame you didn't get a picture of it. What's that one? So is another one. So that's looking from the top. You can see we got the two side lights here, and they got the landing gear light on here because it's not flying at 30,000 feet. But you can't see the rear light from this image. So what do you think on that one, guys? You agree or not? Say so down the side. So this is how I sort of research stuff. So more you do it, the better at it you get. So now we can probably move on and look at another one. Hopefully we can find one that's got a photograph. So where's Area 51? Down here or not? Idaho, Salt Lake. There's another triangle one. No picture. Black soundless triangle. And look, we've got some abduction ones here. What's that one? Alien encounter last year. Well, that's kind of strange because it's the same person. Well, not summary. The summary is the same. Oh well, let's open it up and have a look. Alberta. I think someone's just having them on here. What's all that rubbish? Someone's just cut and pasting rubbish. Look. I've been harassed being called an Aryan. I think someone's just having a drunken laugh. So don't you just hate people that waste your time? If you saw the beginning of the live stream, I read out an article about a guy that was actually just arrested. He had kidnapped 79 people, and he dressed up in a alien costume and drugged them and probed all their parts, had sex with them obviously, and he made up he was a truck driver, and inside the back of the truck he made it look like an operating theatre. So yeah, it's going to be 79 cases out there at least that have been reported to MUFON perhaps about this. So that one is actually a fake as well. So let's keep on going. Sort of lost my way now. Further down. It's a big cluster here. That was where we were before, weren't we? It's kind of a busy little area here. Where's that? I'm not too sure. It's in Richmond still. But you can see we've got an airport right here. So, no picture. No picture. Star Comet. Overall light ship. No picture. Ball, black ball appeared. No picture. Same one. Aha, we got something. Alaska flight 3488. So, looks like a stormy cloud. And we've got a couple of videos as well. At 30,000 feet, a round object appeared to pop into the clouds. So let's have a look. Portrait photograph. I really hate portraits, as you know. Wasn't supposed to be talking about that, which could be just a water droplet on the window screen. So let's save it anyway. Let's have a look at the other ones. Right. Which one's forward? That one. Could that be something down there? And the next one. Oh, they've zoomed it in. Oh, that's strange. Looks like it's got whispery cloud going around outside. We'll do our own zoom in of it. Oh, could it be a cloud? Sun, I mean. Could be. It could be to do with the sun. Sun dog or something like that. Well, that definitely looks like the sun. So that's probably what it could be, actually. It's at 30,000 feet. It could be a solar thing, a solar farm. Because it looks too low to be a sun, doesn't it? The angle doesn't look right. Could be a solar farm. Have they got a solar farm there? Is a good question. Whereabouts was it now? Pasco. Let's see what's on the map. Pasco. Dun, 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 dun. Here it is. Look. Looks like we got some irrigation ponds right over it, which could be a good mirror. Is it? What is this place? Lakeview. What's this thing here? Is that green grass or green pond? Mobile structures. Golf course? I don't know. Yeah. Need to go out a bit, you know. So whereabouts was it? West Pasco. Pasco. What's that down here? What's this? Stadium. Okay. So what angle is he looking at? Probably should open it up. Yeah. Need to open it up. Drag it across. Actually, should ask Tyler what he thinks.
And I am dumbfounded as to what it could be.
So, what can we see in the picture? What's that there? Doesn't look like the town to me. How does he know where he was flying over top? Is that night time? City lights? Or snow-capped mountains? Bit blurry. What have we got up the top here? It is unusual. What do you think of this? Could that be like a mountain tip with the wind blowing this way and we're getting sort of fog around the mountain tip? does kind of look like a mountain, doesn't it? So, why is it not coming up? Oh, right. So, where's my web page again? It's mountain tops. Doesn't look like it's over a city, does it? Here we go. Maybe. Where's the mountains? Looks more like it's over here. Maps, we need to plug his flight number in. I wonder if we can do that. I haven't tried that before. Alaska flight 3488. So it sounds like it will be going over mountains, eh? So yeah. Was how do we get rid of that? Where's the close button? Damn thing. I have to reload it, I think. Can we set some flight numbers? Not too sure. We can try it. 3488. Doesn't look like it. Damn it. So he was flying from Alaska to this location. So he's only guessing where he was. Alaska flight. So it's got to be coming down from this way. Where is Alaska on this map? So it's coming this direction then. Washington. Is that part of Alaska there? Canada, that is, isn't it? So Alaska to be up this way. Certainly a lot of mountain ranges there. British Columbia. Is that Alaska? British Columbia? Is that still Canada? Sort of a bit confused. Alberta? There's Alaska way up here. So it's coming down from this way, a lot of hills and snow, all the way to Washington. So it could be anywhere there. It's going to be one of these things here, popping up through the clouds. That's what it's going to be. Oh well, what was the other photograph we had? Definitely a mountain peak there, isn't it? Yeah, I thought that was a UFO there, but that looks like a river going around. Well, let's look for a mountain peak that sort of looks like that. And with this stuff coming off it. So, mountain peak at clouds, true cloud maybe. Someone's going to have a picture. So we got any similar? So you can see here, well, that one's poking through the cloud, but we're not right on top of it. So here's one. Looks very similar. Whoops, I want to do that. I just want to scroll, you stupid thing. Here's a good one here. At the tip of that, it looks just like that photograph with the clouds streaming off it. Some good examples here. A lot really peaky ones. UFO, so there we go, that's what I was looking for, the little whispery clouds off the top. Yeah, look, see, whispery clouds around there. It's some good photographs, obviously taken from. See, even this one's got. So, scroll out, strictly above, and low res, you get a UFO. So what do you think on that one, guys? You think I'm right? Looks like I scared most of you off. So who's with me still? So let's have a look at the video. A couple here. I'll download it to play it. Hopefully they're not too big. 24. Look how slow it's coming down. Might have a drink meantime. So we're left with you again, Renee, is it? Still coming down. 10 meg. Exciting stuff. So where was the UFO on this one? There. Can't see. What's that? Yeah. That looks like a skull, doesn't it? The head and the two eyes and the mouth. Demon skull. See that? Of course, the guy could have been photoshopping or CGIing it. But you can see this is why you don't take a photograph that direction, because it ruins the quality. So yeah. can see like rivers underneath, little rivers. Could that be the mountain thing he saw? Different angle as the clouds part. Yeah, it looks like a mountain peak, but it also looks like a skull. That's pretty cool. So is it finished? Oh yeah. So let's play it and let's have a look. Probably go on the wrong screen. Oh, it's very loud. Or is it not playing now? Oh yeah. Stupid player. It always screws up the VLC. Let's try that again. Okay, I've got it muted now. Alright, let's move in. That looks different than the photograph. That looks like another plane further down, actually, or something like that. Is that what he's talking about? Well, that changes it a bit. We get a lens flare from the sun at the top here. There's the sun just off camera. There's the lens flare. This guy's having us on. But that's not the same thing that we were looking at before, though. Yeah, there's no heavy cloud there. So what's the other video then? Must be this one. Oh, it is. It's this one. Two different videos. So this one could be lens flare as well. Might have to download it. So we have to wait for that one to come down. Coming up to 3 hours already, guys. That's amazing how time flies. But the next one will be on Sunday at 10 o'clock. Or at least that will be Saturday for these guys. They can stay up late. What's it coming up? Did it finish? No. Yeah, it's still coming down. So I found that maximum stream length is 8 hours, not 6 hours, which is another bonus. I was panicking last time that it was 6 hours, but it's actually 8, so another 2 hours before it stops recording. Like you can be on Hangouts and still talk on Hangouts, even though it auto quits, but it's no good if you're doing a live stream. Okay, we've got it now, and this one here, I think, bottom one. That's on the wrong screen again. Stupid. Yeah. less lens flare. The sun's up here breaking through. Can we play it again? It's a cool effect though. Lens flare. You can see something here, another reflection. It's bouncing off, but it's the sun beam hitting clouds, a cloud layer breaking through the top. That's ice crystals, isn't it? That's the classic sundog that you get. You can see it's not a UFO craft of any kind. You can see the sun breaking through here. I think the other thing is lens flare on the window, or reflection here. Cool. That's a good capture though. I like that. So what was the other one? Again. Surely he could see that wasn't a UFO. Yeah, you can see the reflections on the window here from the sun. This one's different. This one's definitely a lens here. Makes you wonder if he saw that with his eyes at the time. So what did he say exactly? Boarded in Seattle, Alaska flight. I looked out the window and saw what looked like a sunlight bouncing around the clouds. Snapped some pictures. Well, the pictures didn't look anything like that video though, did it? Sunlight bouncing around the clouds. Popping in and out of the atmosphere. Yeah, it's just a sunbeam on icy clouds, that's what it was. So where's the other one? That one still looks like a mountain peak to me though, with the... I don't think you would have caught that light. You can't see, it doesn't look like the same sun angle to me. It's not the right color. Totally different. So I suppose it could be. It's like an ice crystal, but I think we've got two things happening there. We've got the sun being hitting a icy cloud layer, and that one there is the tip of a mountain, icy mountain. Still interesting to see that though. Should I do another one? Looks like no one's interested tonight though. Probably should wrap up actually. 1 o'clock, yeah, it's getting a bit late enough. We'll just have a quick look at something else. Try further down. So we got any photographs? Nope. Here's one. Let's have a look at that one. It's Oregon again. Notice a bright white light and red lights above the neighbor's house. First glance, I thought it was Christmas lights. Drove a few blocks and realized the lights were too high in the sky to be connected to the neighbor. Stopped my truck, got out, realized that these lights were moving in sequence slightly to the left. Again, could it be aircraft? I don't know. Yeah, it's nighttime, which looks to it. Could easily be a plane, couldn't it? So far away. So that's the best picture we've got. Which one was it? That one? Nope. Here we go. What's it called at the top? File 1. Yeah. Great. Looks like it's got motion blur. Again, it looks like it's going to be a plane. 2 white lights either side on the wingtips and the strobe light underneath. And maybe a tail light. We've got some white there as well. So what he's seen as objects is actually attached to one craft. I bet if we plug it in, we'll get the airplane again. So 5th of the 12th, so it wasn't that long ago. At 6 o'clock at night. 1 white, 6 reddish orange craft flying in formation. Well, that's not what we've seen in the picture. White lead craft appeared larger than others. Well, let's plug it in. So if it's 6, then it's going to be 2 airplanes next to each other. One higher altitude than the other, maybe. So we need to find this location on the map. Baker City. It's done that again. So, where's Baker City in this lot? Yeah, so he was flying from Richmond that direction over these mountains here. And the last one. So this one. Richmond Baker. Oregon. So let's put it on Google, gives us a rough idea. So, which one's up here? So we need to go diagonal down a bit. Down this way. Richmond. Down this way. Baker, Baker, Baker. Pleasant Valley. Sounds like the place to be. What's that place here? New Plymouth. Got lost again, haven't I? Oh, a lot of planes here. Salt Lake City. Oregon. Nevada. I'm lost again. So, Portland, Baker City, Oregon. So it's got to be up a bit. Should be here somewhere in the middle. Richmond should be here. You think? Should be here somewhere in the middle, shouldn't it? Baker City, here we go. So you can see the plane heading for it right now. So let's plug in the date and time. And already I've forgotten what date it was. 5th of December at 6 o'clock. 5th of December, 6 o'clock. Which was maybe today or yesterday. 6 o'clock. Let's see how close we are. What's that? 11 in the morning. So another 7 hours on. 6 o'clock. Gone past the time. 10 past 6. 5 o'clock. So there's all the planes. Where's Baker disappeared to? Where is it? It's going up to 6 o'clock, but I can't see Baker. It's annoying. I was just staring at it before. Oh, here it is, Baker City. So, coming up to 6 o'clock. Any planes? Problem is, it's so mountainous here. Obviously, it's going to be planes here, but here comes one now. You see the ID can vanish because of the mountain ranges, because they don't pick up the signal. There's one heading straight for him. It's going to bang on 6:10 time it gets there, probably. There we go. Another one. There's the other plane that we were talking about, straight on the same path line. 2 planes, 6 lights. Oops, see how the signal disappeared there? So that's the 2 planes anyway, heading straight for his location. And we've lost the ID, so they've vanished off the map. So that's the problem with this, because we haven't got radar information. So they should have been there, and they would have been right over top of his head there, straight heading towards him. So that one's debunked as 2 planes. So you can see how I do it. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up there, guys, because I'm getting a bit tired now. And again, we've only sort of scratched the surface of some of the sightings here on MUFON. But there's always Sunday, depending on what else comes up meantime. And I might be more energy, I guess. More energy to look at more cases on Sunday, hopefully, because I've been a bit tired today. But yeah, we cover some really good stuff there tonight. I'm just going to wrap up now and say goodnight to you. Won't make a too long stream tonight. And I give it a couple of hours for it to add on, for Google to process, of course, and add on the other stuff. The front half of it. It sort of does it in reverse order. So I'll say goodnight now. And hopefully Sunday will be a bit better for me.